All right, so let's talk about coughing. So coughing is common. It's your body's natural way of ridding the lungs of harmful irritants and mucus and anything harmful. But at the same time, it can be really scary as a mom when your baby is coughing, and it can be really annoying to the baby. And like I said, just scary. But coughing usually comes from a common cold, right? They get the cold and then they get the cough, and this can be really hard for a nursing baby. Like as adults, we can breathe through our nose or our mouths when we're eating, right? But a newborn baby, especially that's trying to nurse or drink out of a bottle, can only breathe through their nose. So when they're congested, and when they've got a cough, it just makes it really hard and really complicated and kind of scary as a mom. So tell us, Stacy, a few things of what we can do to help with the cough.
All right. So with a cough, you're going to, so this is something that I use with my kids. This comes in both adult and pediatrics, but putting it on their chest can help relieve it. But typically with a cough, you also have like a snotty nose, right? Like the cough and the cold, they go together. You can't give a little baby, especially one that's breastfeeding. You can't give them medicine for that. They need to be coughing out whatever it is. But you can try a humidifier. Those are really great. Make sure that you do a cold mist or cool mist humidifier. Don't do the hot mist. I actually don't even know a reason to have a hot mist humidifier, to be honest. But I think that potentially for the cough, I think that your essential oils might do really good in this area. So which ones would you use?
So Breathe is my favorite essential oil for coughing. It is a blend of oils from doTERRA that has it's got your peppermint in it and your eucalyptus, and I think it's got lemon. Yep, lemon and cardamom and all these oils that are really good to loosen up the mucus, to relax the muscles, and then let the body get more oxygen. So Breathe is my favorite, and I will, if it's me personally, I like to just put a drop in my hand, and then I'll rub it together like this and cup it around my nose and breathe deeply, and just you can just feel it like open up your airways and help you get, it's good for exercising too. Anytime you like need more oxygen. But then I also really love it in a diffuser, especially with babies where you can't I'll sometimes like hold my hand around their nose like this, but you don't want to get it on their face. If you dilute it, you can rub it on their feet and their chest if it's diluted. But I like the humidifier because it just affects everybody in the room. Not the humidifier, the diffuser.
I knew what you were saying.
Yeah, so you just add a little bit of water and add a couple drops of oil and turn it on, and it will light up, and it just puts the oils all throughout the room and the air, and I just love it for opening those.
So it doesn't matter what age, like any age can be inhaling that. That's fine.
Right. Any age for Breathe, especially in the diffuser. Again, with little ones, you're going to want to dilute it and things like that. But Breathe is good for any age. So,
okay. So also going with that, one of the benefits of breastfeeding, and you can speak way more to this because you're way better at all of that, is that your immune system goes through your breast milk and actually helps the immune system of the baby. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. So you want to keep breastfeeding. Anytime your child is sick, you want to keep breastfeeding because your body is making all of those good antibodies to be able to help fight that sickness off. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that I was thinking when it comes to coughing is a lot of times you're coughing also because you've got that drainage, like nasal drainage going down your throat, which then leads to a cough. So things that are really helpful, if I may go into that area, is to do suctioning of the nose. When you mamas get home from the hospital, you should, if you had a nurse help you, for those of you that don't, you need to just find them. But a bulb syringe, it's what the nurse uses to suck out the boogers right when baby is born. I'm not kidding. Ask for like 4 or 5 of them. They're not going to charge you extra because of that, because truly it's all like in a package deal that you're already paying for. So you might as well get as many of them as you can, but you don't want to reuse them. You're going to suck out the boogers. The babies think that you're trying to suck out their brain, but you're not. Just these major boogers. Suck out those boogers. It's going to help clear their airway, which is then going to help them breathe, which is going to help them breastfeed better. When you do it, if you know that they're congested and you can hear it, but you're not getting a lot out, they have saline that you can buy at the store. I have the benefit of working at a hospital, so I have like an unlimited supply of saline, but you can ask your nurse for these too. So this is just a syringe full of saline, and with it, literally, you're not just doing a drop. You could do just a drop, but it's not going to do that much. You want to do a few drops. I actually had a doctor once say, like, this is saline, so it's okay to go down their nose. It's not going to hurt them, but to put a substantial amount, wait a couple of seconds to let it loosen things up, and then suck their boogers out. And you might have to do that a whole bunch of times. My other advice with the bulb syringe is do not reuse them. When your baby is feeling better, don't just go put it in the cupboard and wait for the next time to use it. Get rid of it. That's why you ask the nurse for more than one. And everybody has a nursing friend. Just find the right one and ask for more of them, because you don't want to use the same one. Then you're reintroducing yuckies back into their nose, which is terribly gross. You're giving new boogers, old boogers. It doesn't work. Also, going back to the Vicks, you had mentioned with your essential oils to maybe put it on their feet. So before I discovered essential oils, this one's baby Vicks. I'm not sure that it truly matters if you have adult Vicks or baby Vicks, but I'm going to just promote, because it says baby on there, to do baby Vicks for your babies. But I have found that when you put that on their feet and cover it up with a sock before they go to sleep, like, coughing's not as big of an issue. So if they're coughing, they're probably keeping you awake. That's a bad combination. You need sleep. So do what you can to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be so much easier if they could just blow their own nose, right?
Oh my gosh, so much easier. If they came out being able to eat and able to blow their nose, things would be sweet. I'll keep wiping their bums. That's no problem.
It gets easier, Mama, but yeah, you're going to need the syringe. You're going to need the syringe to help them for the first while. So, and we had talked about the humidifiers and bringing that moisture into the air. All of that's going to help to loosen things up. If you don't have a humidifier, or you find yourself in a pinch, a steamy bathroom can work as well. Just turn that hot water up.
All the way to hot.
Yep. Get it all steamy in there and just let them breathe that in, and it'll kind of loosen things up as well. So,
right. Yeah. Also, can I add to that? So one of the coughs that freak moms out the very most is the croupy cough. The croupy cough sounds like a seal bark. So if your child has that, everything's going to be fine, but you can confirm that they have croup a little bit easier, not 100%, but easier, except for this year. Take your kid, because it's probably winter, wrap them up nice and snug. You could even put a hat on them, go outside into that cool air, and just stand there with them for a few minutes and see if it gets better. A lot of times we have these kids, they come to the ER and mom is like, listen, they were barking. It sounded so terrible. And I was sure that it was just the worst thing in the world, but it's already stopped. Like, I'm wondering if I should have come. And I'm like, no, you're just fine. You're where you're supposed to be. It's probably croup. So if you don't want to do the steamy bath, which is a really great option for croup cough as well, again, it sounds like a seal bark. Then go outside, bundle them up, and just have some cuddle time and see if that helps. And that would help with a lot of the respiratory problems. If you've ever had a cold and you go outside in the cold air, like it helps with your mucous membranes being swollen with your cold or whatever. It just helps you breathe better. So that really is a good option.
You talked about, sorry, I interrupt.
No, you're fine.
You talked about honey before. If they're over a certain age, honey is really good for like.
So they say, yes. So they say that you're not supposed to give honey to, I believe it's 18 months and younger. I always was that super panic, stressed out mom that was like, not until they're 2. I'm just going to make sure. But the toddlers are typically the ones that are getting the colds because their fingers go up their nose and then they touch everything in the back, and then they've got friends that they're playing with and they're still sticking stuff in their mouth. So it's really helpful for toddlers. If they've got a cough, then try a spoonful of honey. It does wonders for a sore throat. It's got, it's like that natural gold is what it is, because there's so many wonderful things in honey that they can't even replicate. It's so cool. So yes, a spoonful of honey helps the cough go away. The other thing that I wanted to mention are retractions. Now, retractions usually come, like you see it a lot with asthma. I'm going to do my best to like show you. See that? Did you get the noise too? That's so dumb. But nonetheless, I wanted you guys to see it. So when a kid is working really hard to breathe, again, the more relaxed you can stay, mama, the better, because you don't want them to start getting nervous, because then they start having an even harder time. So do your best, put on your poker face. Even if you're scared in here, everything's going to be fine. Your job is to notice it and then go. If your kid has asthma, you probably already know about that. We're not going to go into all of that, but I want you to know what retractions look like, and they can be here, they can be underneath your sternum, and on little babies, you'll see them breathe in, and sometimes you can see their ribs. Babies are so resilient. You've got just a little bit of time. It's impressive what they can do, but just either call or even head up to the emergency department. With respiratory, you just don't want to mess with it for too long. Like, it's better to just get it taken care of than to sit there and wonder and let it go on for too long, and then they just get tired. But for retractions, then you want to head in at least within a reasonable amount of time, at least go see the pediatrician, and then they can tell you what to do from there.
Yeah.
So
try the things at home. Try the things at home first. Use the Vicks, use the oils.
Go outside.
Do the steamy bathroom. Yeah. Try the things. And if it's just not going away, if nothing's helping, then we notice the retractions for sure. I mean, a cough is going to last. Coughs tend to,
they linger.
They linger for a long time.
Forever.
Like, even after you feel better, the cough is still there. So
especially at night.
Yeah.
Always at night.
Yeah. So hang in there. But if you're seeing the retractions, that's a sign to go to the ER, right?
Right.
Okay. And when we get there, what's the ER going to do for us?
So depending on how bad the retractions are, they'll give you special medicine for it that the baby can inhale, or that your child can inhale. That's really helpful. Or they might give a steroid. Now, the steroid will take a few hours to work, so they'll probably watch the baby for a few hours. Don't ever plan on an ER visit being in and out. It's just not the way it is. You're not going to the doctor, you're going to an ER, and they have to make sure that they have ruled out all concerns. So don't stress about that. Take a bag. Don't forget your phone charger. Typically they're just going to give medicine, and they're going to watch and make sure that they're safe to go home.
Yeah. Okay, great. And what about vomiting? They're coughing,
yes.
coughing,
and then they throw up. Yeah. It's the most terrible and annoying thing. It's like, oh no, they've got something else. So we call it post-tussive vomiting, tussive being the cough, and then vomiting afterwards for post. So it's not a big deal. It just means that they've got a really great cough, and it's caused their gag reflex to engage, and thus you've got the gagging and maybe the vomiting. Don't stress about that. That's no big deal. As long as they are doing fine afterwards, you're probably going to be more freaked out by it than they are. So encourage fluids. Even with just a plain cough, you want to encourage lots of liquids and fluids, and it will get better.
Yep. Stay hydrated.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay. Oh, there was one other thing I was gonna say. It's slipping my mind though. Yeah, just try all the things, do all the things. And if you're not having success, then you can go in. But most of the time, a cough is something that can be treated at home.
Yep.
And something you can overcome it. Excuse me, overcome at home. So it can be scary, but you just
it's the body's natural way of responding.
Yeah.
It wants to get rid of it. I think that in this situation, the best thing to do is go through the checklist that we've made you, your little worksheet, and just check off everything that you've done, except for the retractions. Retractions, head in. Don't play with it. Just go. But everything else, go through, try all of those things, and then maybe consider calling your pediatrician.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember what the thing was. I was just going to say that with all of that mucus and stuff going down your throat, they'll sometimes get a stomach ache from all of the dripping and everything. So that's common too, if they say their tummy hurts from all of that. So all the joys and the fun things that we get to deal with as parents. But yes. All right. Thanks for joining us. See ya.